but it seemed the operation had paid off.
That was a shortened version of the report which went out on TV at the time of the incident. Greg Philo suggests that it's not as truthful as it looks.
I don't think it should look better, but I wonder, do you think it would be more truthful if it had said, actually, the police were quite heavily armoured, the pickets weren't?
Well, that's one of the things that can be pointed up in the voice-over.
Yeah.
Then Gordon Hops produced his alternative version, with an alternative commentary. Same incident, but an opposite point of view.
Heavily armed police marksmen made numerous unprovoked attacks today on small groups of miners determined to protect their jobs and homes. Their peaceful protest faced the riot shields and steel helmets of wave after wave of trained stormtroops. While several miners were driven onto the busy railway lines, all who resisted were arrested with a violence described as unprovoked and unrestrained. With many behind bars, yet another charge went in to mop up the last few protesters, besieged behind a wall of smoke and flame.
So, clearly, you can make the same material say two quite different things. But does Greg Philo actually believe that the people who make TV news are deliberately distorting the news in order to give it a political slant?
I do think there are things that journalists are afraid to say and will get into trouble for saying. And that it's a very brave journalist that asserts, for example, that people are being arrested at random on the picket lines, even though the miners said that this was happening, and there's now some evidence that this happened. It was very rarely said in journalism.
Greg Philo's critics say that his views are from a left-wing standpoint. Does he think the right-wing has the same cause for complaint?
I don't think social science has got anything to do with being right or left-wing in that sense. What we do is look at what's present or what's absent on the news. We've said that people who don't have much political power can be seen to lose out in news programmes. One of our first examples was of the dust cart drivers who were on strike in Glasgow, and we said that in the whole course of the strike that went on for 6 weeks, not one person who was on strike was asked what he thought about it. Nobody was interviewed.